In my opinion, this is absolutely more believable than the official version of events of what we're being told.
And we told them there is no client list. Sergeant
As that's probably what's going on here, of course, we are getting conflicting reports. One report from Benny Johnson saying, all is good. No need to cope. No need to fear. They're going to be releasing something. Bongino is happier than ever. And then another report by the corporate media saying Bongino's on the outs, and the White House, including Donald Trump, really don't like him anymore. Which ones are telling the truth here? As, of course, Alan Dershowitz now came out with some very interesting revelations. As, of course, how in the world does he know what's in a lot of these files? As, of course, he was a part of some of the court proceedings here, as we're still left here picking up the pieces, as there's a lot of people in a very disappointing way coping and making up all sorts of lies and excuses, being like, no, Trump had to do this to prevent people being mad about him for immigration. Yeah. No. Absolutely insane, crazy takes here. If you appreciate our sane, rational takes here that actually take into account factual pieces of information, subscribe. Click the notification button. We appreciate your support more than ever, and we definitely appreciate all of the time that you spend with us. This is Elon Musk. Just sent out a message on Twitter saying, this is a very big deal. What the hell kind of system are we living in if thousands of kids were hurt? The government has videos of the abusers, and yet none of the abusers are still facing charges. That to me is absolutely a very serious situation that doesn't deserve to be excused here. There's other content creators that I just saw that I was watching online that were telling me, oh no, but he's using it to pass the big beautiful bill. I'm like, wait, he's using extortion of children being hurt here that will hurt more children just to pass a political bill? Really? That's disgusting. And if that's happening, I don't want that type of political leadership in my country. This is Benny Johnson. I hope Benny Johnson is not being used. I hope this is not Bindergate 2.0, but I'm getting the feelings that it is here. But he's coming out right now and saying, I have my sources. I talked to my sources within the FBI, an FBI source. And then he talks about how he has random phone calls from Dan Bongino sometimes. And then talked about how Dan Bongino kind of mentored him and how he's close and friends with Dan Bongino in one of his videos. And then he says this, just got off the phone with a top federal law enforcement contact. The change in approach of Epstein's file has been dramatic. Expect more disclosures. Now, I just don't like that statement because, again, we're left to believe it on no evidence. We're just told, trust the plan. Guys, quiet down. You don't have to be angry. We're going to get justice here. Based off what evidence? Sorry, but based off what evidence? What are we going to get? Expect more disclosures. We have gotten no disclosures. We have gotten an edited videotape that is showing an adjacent hallway. One form of entry. There's multiple forms of entry. We got nothing. We got phase one of files that, by the way, were more redacted than what was already out there to the general public. Okay. He goes on. Some very powerful admin, people inside the admin are now pushing for a special counsel. Okay. They want something to happen. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And a full press briefing on Epstein findings. They want this to happen. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Expect more disclosures. If we're going to get the same disclosures we got before, we're going to get nothing. The change... from top down, we haven't seen that change in approach from Donald Trump. We haven't seen the chain of command. We haven't seen an announcement from anyone above Dan Bongino. We've seen Patel bow down, which is going to be important to bring up here in just a little bit here, because I think it correlates with what actually CNN is reporting. There's a lot of other circumstantial stuff here, but then he says specifically, important to note, the drastic change happened after Charlie Kirk and a number of other powerful MAGA voices pushed back on the handling of the Epstein case this weekend. It looks like Charlie Kirk kind of acquiesced and bowed down by declaring, I'm no longer talking about the Epstein files. Now, there was a phone call that was reported between Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk, but the reports that we're getting is that Donald Trump was pissed that all the people at Charlie Kirk's event were specifically throwing Pam Bondi under the bus, which made Donald Trump release a statement on Truth Social saying, Pandy's my gal. As, of course, there was a coordinated effort, I think, by Bongino and his proxies to try to throw her under the bus. That didn't work out. And then she's releasing information about Bongino. It's a mess, okay? Who do you believe here? We're going to tell you in a little bit. They were met with massive wars and applause from 7,000 gathered there that could not be ignored. In short, our voices are being heard. Power to the people. I'll believe it when I see it. And this post is being met with criticism. As again, listen, if you're going to be posting this, like, are you just doing the bidding of the administration that wants you to be quiet at this particular moment in time? I want to play the video here because I hope there's a couple possibilities, but I hope Benny Johnson isn't being baited and told this when it looks like there's evidence that counters this. Now, who are we going to be believing here? That's a question that, of course, is left up for everybody to determine. Now, before playing the clip from Benny Johnson and talking about the sources that contradict what he's saying right now, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up to LukeUnfiltered.com, what are you doing? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, 20 cents a day. You click the link down in the description below. You come here, you click for whatever you could afford. We generously appreciate your ability to support us during these very difficult financial times. If you're broke, I understand. Don't worry about it. But we have a lot of things that we offer you. 3 masterclasses, 1 on apocalypse survival, 1 on traveling the world, 1 on becoming the media. We also have access to me directly through Telegram. I'm talking to everybody about all the pressure that I'm receiving right now. People telling me to shut up. And that's not going to work here. And people know it's not going to work. People know it's going to backfire here. And listen, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that's crazy as there's right now. This is why I have doubts about Benny Johnson's claim. And I like Benny Johnson. I think he has done some of the most important work almost out of everyone when it comes to interviewing the administration officials on this particular issue. He's done a great job. No denying that. But the reason I'm skeptical of that report is because Mike Cernovich is talking about how major high-profile donors are coming to people and saying, shut up about Epstein. There's also reports of Trump calling people and personalities and being like, shut up about Epstein. Stop talking about Epstein. And some of these personalities acquiesce. Some of them don't. Some of them double down and actually speak out against it. Now, we haven't gotten that type of phone call, but we're getting, people getting mad at us. Again, our tank is on empty. IRS took everything from me. I want to do more stuff. I want to do more on the ground reporting. I want to do more crazy stuff like going to Jeffrey Epstein's island. You could support that just by simply signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com and being a part of this independent media organization, as your support is needed now more than ever. Now, let's get back to this Benny Johnson clip because he says, a top FBI source tells me Dan Bongino is locked back in at the FBI and working on something very important. As those are very vague terms, Benny. Very vague terms. And this could be a way for Bongino to try to save face, to call his buddy, to try to control the narrative here, when in reality we are hearing that Donald Trump is really pissed with Bongino.
We have some breaking news for you on this program that I just learned about Dan Bongino and his future at the FBI. Because we know Dan, he's been a bit of a mentor to me, quite frankly. He's always been very helpful in our show, even calling me randomly to give me pointers on certain things. He's just been a wise advisor. He's always been good and he's been solid. He cares a lot about this country and he has a heart of gold and a very big heart. And he's somebody that wants to make it a better place. And the fallout from the Epstein saga, of course, caused Dan to say, it's going to be really tough to return to my show, to do what I love to do after all of this. If it really goes south, will people trust me? Because they don't trust this stuff, and we haven't done it in the right way. Now I call the number.
Yeah, to say the least, as of course Bongino lied. Let's just be honest with ourselves. He people are like trying to be like, oh no, he's one of the. He lied. He lied. There's no denying that.
Number of people with direct knowledge of this, and this was Dan's frustration, is that the disclosures were not great, and the way that it was handled and the way that it was released was not great, and that he was being blamed in part for it. And so Dan didn't show up to work and sort of gave an ultimatum to President Trump and said, hey, listen, Pam Bondi either goes or I go. And he and Pam Bondi had quite a bit of a blow up at the White House.
So it looks like Pam Bondi is staying. and Dan Bongino staying. But out of that kind of kerfuffle, there's going to be some ruffled feathers. There's going to be some pissed off people. Now, with Pam Bondi being higher up and carrying out the orders of Donald Trump directly, and Bongino being directly underneath her, it makes sense that the reporting that we're getting from CNN that Donald Trump is pissed at Bongino and not mad at Pam Bondi, who's playing ball, but mad at Bongino for playing ball and disrupting this and trying to get her to be the scapegoat here. It makes sense when you look at the kind of facts and details out of all of this.
On Wednesday, Dan hadn't showed up to work since. I don't want to see Dan go. Neither did the American people, by the way.
It's Bongino or Bondi.
And then he goes off and he talks about, my sources are telling me that we're going to get some kind of disclosure or transparency here. And if that's coming from Bongino, all right, I think it's Bongino trying to save face here, as of course Caitlin Collins of CNN is reporting that the relationship between Donald Trump and Bongino has deteriorated. That's what they're saying. And again, if you look at a couple key things here. One, the chain of command and Trump's Truth Social post. You see, Trump's fully back in Pam Bondi. The entire base was saying, fire Pam Bondi. Trump's like, no, I'm with Pam Bondi. Stop talking about Epstein. Oh, yeah, Epstein is something that was orchestrated by Obama and Hillary. They're the ones responsible for it. So there's that, which, again, everyone just didn't believe. There's also this very weird and strange post by Kash Patel, which highlights how Donald Trump is saying, hey, what the hell, guys? And there's a big likely scenario that Trump came to Kash Patel and said, you better show your allegiance right now in a post, or else it's not going to it's not going to look good for you, and you're going to be on the outs too. What is it, Kash? You're going to post this? And I think Trump forced Kash Patel to post this, in my opinion.
It was still an open question in Washington this morning if he was going to be back at the FBI today. And of course, he did eventually show up. We were told he had spent the weekend in Florida after not going there on Friday. But when it comes to what you just mentioned there about the relationship being untenable with the White House, he is staying in the job for right now. He is still the deputy director of the FBI right now, and he hasn't resigned or been fired.
And it looked like for a little bit there, he was going to walk out. Now, when you threaten to walk out and you're showing disloyalty to the president of the United States, that really doesn't like disloyal people. Really doesn't like flaky people. His moniker is, you're fired. And you have a chain of command. And he's not following the chain of command. And he's fighting your chain of command that's following your orders. You're Donald Trump. You're telling Pam Bondi, not releasing anything. You're going to tell these people to go away. You're going to tell these people it doesn't mean anything. You're going to tell these people case closed. You got it, Pam? Pam Bondi's like, yeah, you got it. You got it, sir. Whatever you want. And then you have upheaval. Pam Bondi goes straight to Trump. Be like, listen, this guy's not playing ball. Trump would be mad. And with Trump's Truth Social post, Kash Patel's post, it makes sense that Trump is mad at Dan Bongino.
But the relationship has deteriorated so much that there are officials inside the White House who have not spoken to Dan Bongino in days, even though, of course, the question of whether or not he was still going to be employed by the federal government was still a big one for officials over the weekend. And I was told the president was very angry with Dan Bongino. And also...
Now, this is the issue. Do you believe CNN here? Okay? Because thinking about this, Pam Bondi's also releasing a lot of information against Kash Patel. No, and Bongino, specifically Bongino, excuse me. Pam Bondi's leaking information trying to make Bongino look bad. And there's information that was released from anonymous government sources talking about how Bongino thought everyone was going to shut up after that tape. I mean, it didn't take a genius to figure out, like, releasing that tape wasn't going to make anyone quiet about this Epstein saga. The tape is ridiculous. The tape is missing now 2.5 minutes, according to reports. The tape has been freaking edited in Adobe Premiere. It's 2 separate clips being put together. And we're told, this adjacent hallway, with this edited clip, all you need to do to believe the official version of events, no one bought that. Now, what Caitlin Collins could be reporting is Pam Bondi's version of the story. Pam Bondi could have went to Caitlin Collins, and this is the report that's coming in here, and she's trying to fight against Bongino because clearly it does look like there's a rift. Now, is it an orchestrated rift? Is it a PR rift? Is it a fake rift? Is it a real rift? Who knows? But, we have to understand, Caitlin Collins could be honest with her reporting, but her sources could be making it up in order to make Bongino look bad, since it does look like Bongino tried to orchestrate a media PR coup d'etat against Pam Bondi that backfired, with Donald Trump supporting Pam Bondi. So I think this reporting is true. I think Donald Trump is pissed, and I think that's why we're seeing Kash Patel release that kind of weird message. And Kash Patel, this Kash Patel's message here pissed off a lot of people, right? The conspiracy theories just aren't true. Never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, and I'll continue to do so for as long as I can. And he calls me out, dude. Everybody responded like, what? What, dude? First of all, I was like, which theory are you even talking about here? Sean Strickland, hours of tapes of you saying completely the opposite of this. No one believes you, and this will never be forgotten. Yeah. And then cat turd, of course. Fire emoji. Of course. Quartering. This was Trump going to Kash and be like, he's your underling. Keep him in charge. You're with me or are you with him? Show me you're with me right now. Make this post. And Kash made this post. That's probably what happened here. Show me you're loyal to me. You're loyal to me, or you want to be on Bongino's side? You want to be on my side and Pam Bondi's side? Which side do you want to be on? That's probably what happened here.
The FBI director, Kash Patel, to a degree, which is why you saw Patel put out that statement over the weekend saying he had no plans to resign and was going to work for Trump as long as he would have him. Obviously, right now, they're trying to basically just get their arms around the story and control it and stop the fallout from continuing.
And we have seen that happen. So that part is true. Mike Cernovich, big donors coming in. Charlie Kirk, after the phone call with Trump. I'm not talking about it. Other reports that I'm hearing, other people around Trump's circle going out of their way to say, hey, I don't appreciate this person saying this. And I had that come back to me by some powerful people. I don't appreciate Luke saying this. Well, guess what? I'm going to keep saying it because it's the truth.
It's only continued to grow, and their base has only gotten angrier about not getting answers to the questions that they were told they were going to get answers to. And so, yes, Dan Bongino may stay in the job for right now. We have no indication that he's left, but there is a real question of the future of that relationship, especially given the ultimatum he made over the Attorney General Pam Bondi after she confronted him, and also just the fact that he's not speaking to a lot of people, whether that's in the White House or Evan Perez was told earlier he had not spoken to anyone at Justice Department leadership since last Wednesday. And obviously that is...
Is this true? Who knows? It could be Pam Bondi just trying to isolate and attack Bongino with a fake leak, with fake information, as Bongino pretty much went on the gauntlet with his friends going after Pam Bondi. And again, you look at the TPUSA conference, Pam Bondi was the number one target of it all. This is why Trump called Charlie Kirk and was like, what is this? You're attacking my foot soldier. You're attacking the person falling on the sword for me. What are you doing? And again, we keep being dangled this information saying, no, something's going to happen, guys. I promise. Laura Trump saying, no, we're going to get more transparency, guys. Just believe us. Just trust us. And she came out and she specifically said, her words were very careful. She believes, not that she knows, not that she verified, not that there's going to be specific things we're going to be getting, but that she believes that we might be getting more transparency. More transparency? What does that even mean? What do you mean more transparency? What does it mean, more transparency? Can we get some details here? Can we know what's going on? As I think they're starting to realize, as a lot of people are mentioning here, that this is going to sink the ship. Yeah, there's no going back from this. The level of trust in Washington, D.C. and this political system, all-time low. And she's not a part of this administration, right? She's not inside of the White House. But she is a part of the family. So it makes you wonder, hey, does she believe it because she wants to believe it? Or is she actually getting some legitimate information? If she did, I think she would be a little bit more detailed, but she's not. And there's a lot of confusion here. From Benny Johnson, Charlie Kirk, Laura Trump, even Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz came out and said, Pam Bondi is the best attorney general Trump has had by a factor of 10,000. Wait, hold on. Matt Gaetz. What? As you know, Listen, there's a reason he got kicked out and didn't become the attorney general, because they had compromise on him. It wouldn't surprise me at this particular point. Trump called him out. Look, we got these files on you, Matt. You better come out there and start singing. You better start telling everybody how great Pam Bondi is. No one likes Pam Bondi. You better tell everyone how she's she's awesome. And again, I like Matt, but this is a bizarre, weird take here. Everyone's responding here, being like, toenail fungus has a higher approval rating than all three of them combined. Talking about Pam Bondi, Bill Barr, Jeff Sessions, Nick Sorter, Preston Para. Read the room, Matt. Yeah, Ivan Ratcliffe. I respect you massively, Matt, and I accept your invite to come on the show to discuss who would be a better AG than Scam Bondi by a factor of 1 trillion. What in the world's going on here? As of course, listen, I think we're seeing the unraveling. We're seeing internal power struggles. Trump, from all of my understanding, is on Pam Bondi's side. Pam Bondi's carrying out his orders. Bongino tried to create a little rift, try to, test the waters, try to save face. He's getting punished, and I think he's going to get punished, and I think he's just going to be ostracized by Trump. Trump, I think, is working overtime with the donors to shut everyone up. It's not going to work. It's going to work on some people, but it's not going to work on me and a bunch of other people and you. And you know why it doesn't work? Because you share this video and you get it out there to the general public, and I can't. And you guys also sign up to lookunfiltered.com. And then when you do sign up, you allow me to do what I do. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys signing up. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.